Everything felt like a dream. The dress fit perfectly, the flowers smelled fresh, and the weather was shockingly cooperative for a June afternoon. My fiancé Ryan stood at the altar, looking like he'd been plucked from a bridal magazine, confident, handsome, and calm. Our families were all smiles. Friends whispered excitedly, phones out, ready to post cute couple pics. I was about to marry the man I thought was my forever. But if I've learned anything from stories online, and now my own life, it's that the most perfect setups hide the messiest secrets. See, leading up to the wedding, there were small things I ignored. A few hushed phone calls Ryan would quickly hang up, vague work trips where he wouldn't answer texts. I chalked it up to nerves or work pressure. He was a lawyer after all, and always said he wanted to keep personal and professional life separate. I respected that. I trusted him. But something in me, some quiet gut feeling, kept pulling at me. I even joked with my maid of honor the night before, saying, "What if someone objects during the vows?" We laughed it off. If only I knew how close that joke was to reality. Just as the officiant asked if anyone had any objections, the air shifted. I thought it was just nerves, until the church doors slammed open. Heads turned, gasps rippled through the crowd. A woman, tall, dark hair pulled back tight, dressed in black like she was heading to a funeral, walked in with fire in her eyes. She didn't look angry. She looked hurt. Wrecked, actually. And then she said it. "I object. That man is already married. To me." My mind blanked. Like, completely. I felt the room blur around me, like I was underwater. Ryan stood frozen. Not confused, not surprised, just caught. And that told me everything. People started whispering. My mom looked like she might faint. The officiant tried to calm things down, but the woman wasn't backing down. She walked straight toward us and said, "My name is Lauren. I married Ryan 6 years ago. We're still legally married. I only found out about this yesterday." I couldn't speak. I just stared at Ryan. He didn't deny it. He didn't even try. He just whispered, "I was going to fix it." Fix what? The part where you planned to commit bigamy in front of all our friends and family? That was the moment my heart broke. Not in a dramatic, falling to my knees kind of way, but in a quiet, soul-crushing realization that everything I believed was a lie. And that was just the beginning. After Lauren's reveal, chaos erupted. Guests whispered. The officiant backed away awkwardly, and I just stood there, numb. Ryan tried to talk to me, but I couldn't even hear the words. I walked out of the church in my wedding dress, heels clacking against the stone like a warning siren. I needed air, space, anything but him. Later that night, I sat on my best friend's couch in sweatpants, makeup smeared, staring at my phone. Dozens of missed calls from Ryan, a few from Lauren, and a million questions spinning in my head. When I finally agreed to meet Ryan, it wasn't because I was ready to forgive him. It was because I needed answers. He told me the truth, or at least his version. He and Lauren had married young, and it had fallen apart quickly. But instead of finalizing the divorce, he just left it. Never filed the papers, never told her. And he figured, out of sight, out of mind, until Lauren somehow found out about our wedding and decided I deserved to know. Honestly, she was right. The worst part wasn't just that he lied. It's that he let me fall headfirst into a future that never really existed. He swore he loved me, that he meant to tell me, but I couldn't even look at him without feeling betrayed. I told him it was over, for good. But the story didn't end there, because Lauren had something else to say. And what she revealed next, it blew everything wide open. I met up with Lauren the next day at a coffee shop. I wasn't sure what to expect. Was she just trying to stir up more drama? Was this some revenge plan? But the look on her face wasn't smug or angry. She looked tired, like someone who'd been carrying a weight for way too long. She started by apologizing for how she crashed the wedding, said she didn't mean to embarrass me, but when she found out about the ceremony, she panicked. She'd spent years trying to track Ryan down, not because she wanted him back, but because she wanted closure. Turns out, he ghosted her. No explanation, no paperwork, just disappeared. She told me she only recently learned about the wedding through a mutual friend's social media post. And when she saw my picture in the dress, smiling with Ryan, something inside her snapped. She said, "You didn't deserve to start your marriage with a lie. I know what it feels like to be discarded." I didn't know what to say. I felt sorry for her. I hated what she did, but I also understood it in a weird way. Then she handed me a folder. Inside, proof that Ryan was involved in shady business, money schemes, fake accounts, and some debt under both their names. She said she came forward not just to stop the wedding, but to warn me. This wasn't just about love. This was about lies built on lies. After Lauren gave me the folder, I felt like the ground beneath me cracked open. All those months I spent planning the wedding, trusting Ryan, picturing a life together. It was all fake. I went home that night, sat alone in my wedding dress for hours and just cried. But by morning, something in me shifted. I wasn't going to be a victim in Ryan's story. I was going to rewrite mine. First, I called off the honeymoon and canceled all our joint accounts. Then I hired a lawyer. I wasn't just walking away. I was making sure he couldn't hurt me or anyone else again. The documents Lauren gave me were legit, and my lawyer said I had every right to press charges. I didn't want revenge. I just wanted peace. When I confronted Ryan, he didn't even try to deny it. His face was stone cold, like he'd done this before. Maybe he thought I'd be too heartbroken to act. But I stood my ground. The story went public after Lauren spoke to a journalist. I stayed quiet, let the facts speak. Some people pitied me, others cheered me on. But honestly, I felt free. The truth was out, and I didn't have to keep pretending anymore. Now I'm focusing on rebuilding. I started a blog to share my story, and it's helping others spot red flags early. If my pain helps someone else avoid the same, maybe it was worth it. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for the next wild story. You won't believe what's coming next.